Not sure if you remember, but in the last video, we showed you that there was a big hole in here. And I mean, I cut literally this whole part out, pulled it out, and rebuilt it with JB Weld and another epoxy. So as you can see, what happens is these wind up stripping. So when you put the bolts in it, it winds up turning with it. So it never tightens and you never be able to loosen it again. You have to pull this whole part out in order to rebuild it like this. So this was a big hole. So now the next step, as you can see, we have it like that. So what you need is you need a filer. So you file it like this, you have it, you file it down, and then you just go around it. So that's what we're gonna do and show you what it looks like. First, you can start like this, just to get it, because these are made to be able to fall down like that. And then we're gonna show you once it's all done that it doesn't leak and it actually holds gas. Now, as you can see, the whole point of this is to try to keep it shaped. So we just filing it down just enough to keep it shaped. So now we blew that off. You can see how that's round. See how that's round? And you see how this is still round. Now I want to show you that it's not going to move. So we have our bolt that we're going to be putting in here. And as you can see, we're threading it in. See? Goes in. It comes out and it doesn't move. So the next step is after we sand all this down and get it to our liking shape, then we'll be painting it and show you the difference. Now, as you can see, we got it to our liking shape. You see how that's oval and this is ovaled out. Now we don't want to go down too low on these parts for the simple fact that we need some type of ass, as we call it, in order to grab. So it's bonding to this plastic gas tank. So that's what's keeping it in place. So I have gas in here now, so I'm gonna show you that it's not leaking. Now this is my first time doing it. So I'm gonna show y'all that it actually works and it's no leaks. So check it out. See this? See that? Now I'm gonna show you there's gas in the tank. So you know that I ain't lying, that there's gas in the tank, and I'm gonna pour it down. I'm gonna hold the gas tank to where it would flow to this part, and you'll see. So as you can see that? That's fuel. All right, so now we're gonna put this back on. And now we're gonna hold it this way so you can see that it doesn't leak. And I have a half a tank right now. Anybody can do this if you know what you're doing. As you can see now, how you know if it's actually leaking from gas is because you'll see it start to get wet around the bottom, the edges, and stuff like that. And as you can see, there's no leaks. So now we're going to spray it with carburetor cleaner or brake cleaner, something, anything to take all this dust off, and then we're going to paint it. So as you can see, we sprayed it with carburetor cleaner, parts cleaner. So we're going to let it sit like that, eat all that stuff away, and then we're going to blow it away with the air. Now remember, this is not going to be seen anyways. This is the tank. This is always covered up with the plastics. So I can make this look a hell of a lot better as far as the smoothness, but all you can see, I'm just worried about this oval part. That way when you put the plastics back on, it doesn't pop out too far or anything like that. I'm keeping that same exact shape that I molded. The only thing I'm not doing is fixing this part and taking it down too low. And the reason why is because you want it to have some extra meat to grab, some extra ass. That way, it it just doesn't try to pull off throughout pressure. So right now, we already sprayed it with the carburetor cleaner. So we just gonna make sure there's no other particles, any type of dirt or anything around it. We'll wipe it off, and then we're gonna paint it right now. Now, before you paint it, put a bolt inside here. That way you don't put paint inside the threads in there. So just use either the bolt that you're supposed to be putting in there and then clean it off, or just put another bolt in there, same thread, and then that way you can paint over it. So in my situation, I'm using this bolt, which is the old bolt that was stuck in there. As you can see, look at the threads. It was a bad bolt, but I'm able to use it still because I know what I'm doing. And I'm just using that to be able to get the paint in it.